Hey, Futurist Jim Carroll from the virtual broadcast studio. Monday morning, I'm speaking at an agricultural event this afternoon, and it's kind of an interesting situation. Clearly, what's going on in our world today is a lot of folks, with their early experimentation with Zoom calls as a means of delivering corporate education, didn't like it. I mean, it was a disaster. If you think about what we were doing 8 months ago and everybody piling into these Zoom calls and trying to exchange information, there is a lot of really lousy knowledge shared in a lousy format online. But here's the thing, in every single industry, the future hasn't slowed down. Trends are still occurring at an absolutely relentless pace. So, for example, in the world of agriculture, before COVID hit, we were seeing the acceleration of robotic technology, the acceleration of science, all kinds of trends. And so, what clearly is happening in the world right now, in the world of agriculture, and what I'm witnessing with my other clients, is leadership is kind of splitting into two groups. Those that realize, look, we need to continue to make sure that our team, our leadership team, and our overall organization understands the scope of the change which is occurring in our industry, and we need to align to it. The second group are those who tried these early Zoom calls and said that didn't work, we didn't like it. We're just going to wait until we all go back to the previous world. Well, look, that might not be with us until 2022, based upon the way things are going. So, actually, this afternoon, I'm with an organization in the agricultural sector. It's actually their 100th anniversary celebration, and they were going to have this as an in-person meeting. Obviously, that wasn't happening, so they decided to take it virtual, and they found me and wanted to bring me in to talk about the future of agriculture. Now, this is going to be later this afternoon, and I've got to do an AV check. I've got to make sure that all my equipment, all my slides, all my gear in my virtual broadcast studio here is working correctly. So I thought what I would do is just take a little bit of the content that I'm going to share this afternoon and take it live online in order to do the AV check in this format. So here's a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. I'm just trying this out to check my slides. One thing I'm going to be talking about is what we were talking about in the world of agriculture before the pandemic hit. One of the trends which is underway is we are going to a world of what I would call 24-hour farming. The impact of robotics and autonomous vehicles, self-driving tractors, all of this type of stuff is we're moving to a world in which we won't just farm when the sun is up, but we will pursue agricultural concepts 24 hours a day, because the world of autonomous vehicles takes us to a different world. This is all being driven by furious rates of scientific acceleration. We're in a situation in which agriculture clearly has long been an industry impacted by faster science. And what is happening in the world of science right now is massive acceleration in knowledge, new methodologies, new discoveries, new ways of doing things. This impacts everything we do in the world of agriculture. A lot of folks, interesting little situation happening here, and this is why I do an AV check. I'm discovering my remote is advancing things too quickly. A lot of folks pursuing new methodologies in the world of agriculture. So, for example, I was dealing with a mushroom farmer who was putting in place robotic technology to pick mushroom caps, because that would reduce the amount of damage occurring with a mushroom cap, which increases their value in the store. So, exploration of new methodologies, new ways of doing things. We are seeing the acceleration of insight. The arrival, for example, of drone technology in the agricultural sector is an absolute game changer, because it provides us better insight on crop health, crop disease, irrigation, moisture levels, all kinds of information which we could not previously easily obtain. Very significant trend unfolding. The world of hyperconnectivity. Look, we're in a situation where we got Fitbits for cows. There's actually Fitbits for cows, little collar devices which monitor animal health, location, a whole variety of factors. This is the type of hyperconnectivity coming to the world of agricultural generational change. Farmville comes to farming. Think about what has happened here as the gaming generation begins to take over the family farm. We're in a situation in which we thought they were playing computer games online, not just that, but they are learning how to manage this hyper-connected, very sophisticated farm of the future, and they're coming into the world of agriculture right now. There's very much an innovation mindset. There's very much a situation where farmers today are far more willing to explore new technologies, new concepts, new ways of doing things, because they are of a generation which is open to new ideas and less restrictive in terms of the scope of their thinking. Micro information. I got to figure out what's going on with the remote. This is why I do this live test. Micro information, hyperweather. We're now in a situation in which, for example, we can get very specific weather information on a very discrete basis down to a 10 square kilometer or 5 square mile area, which has an impact on what we do in terms of planting, in terms of irrigation, in terms of crop health, in terms of everything we do. A situation of collaborative innovation. What is occurring here is we are witnessing farmers connect worldwide in order to share ideas of what they are doing with the tinkering economy, exploring new ideas, new concepts, and that's where we're witnessing a massive amount of innovation occurring with robotics in the world of farming and bold ideas. Clearly something's happening with my mouse. This is why I go live, because this is why I figure out what the heck's going on with my remote. Look, years ago, I was talking on stage at a farming event about how at MIT we were exploring how to make solar cells from plants, how to actually grow solar cells from plant technology. No idea is too bold, no idea is too crazy, no idea is too ridiculous. These are the types of issues that we were talking about in the world of farming before COVID came along. And you can go out and you can take a look at the exploration of what is happening with robotics, with vertical farming infrastructure, with all these advanced concepts which are taking us into a world in which the world of farming tomorrow is not going to look anything like it does today. And yet the impact of COVID and the pandemic is all of this is going to happen faster than we think. So I'm going live this afternoon at the 100th anniversary of a major agricultural organization to talk to their leadership team about where we've been, what comes next, and how the pandemic has changed this. And we're doing this online through this sophisticated virtual broadcast studio set. Going to have a lot of interaction, text message polling, Q&A with the audience. Going to be a huge amount of fun, because when you do virtual, you can certainly do virtual right. That's it for now. Futurist Jim Carroll with his AV test check in a remote that seems to have gone wonky. Have a good one. Think growth, think optimism, think like a farmer. You do this. You think big, you start small, you scale fast. Think really big. Think really big in terms of that goal of Monsanto that we're going to double food production using 1/3 less fuel, 1/3 less fertilizer, 1/3 less water by the year 2030. And what are you going to do to be a part of that trend as we continue to see an influx of technology, ideas, capabilities, science, opportunity? Start small. It's a whole bunch of stuff you might not yet be working with. Take on a small-scale project to enhance your expertise, enhance your knowledge, and to get ahead of the faster future, and focus on scale. Think big, start small, scale fast. Thank you very much. Have a great conference.